How's everybody doing today? I want to let y'all hear something that's very important. I am going to play this video by someone and I'll link to her channel. Her name is at Just Being Buffy, at Just Being Buffy. So let me play what her video said. Okay, here it is.
According to Bloomberg, JP Morgan Chase formed a joint venture for $1 billion with a B, like Auntie Buffy, $1 billion to buy hundreds of homes across America and make them rental properties. At the same time, 18 million Americans between the ages of 26 and 41 moved back home with their parents, 39% of them citing they can't afford rent. So why is JP Morgan Chase buying up $1 billion worth of homes to rent out if folk can't afford rent? Now, I usually connect the dots and go ahead and tell y'all Auntie's theories. I want to know what y'all think. Comment below and then I'll respond.
Reason why this is so important, y'all, because I talk about, y'all know, the people who are familiar with this channel know that I live in an alternative lifestyle. I live in this hair, I can't get it right, but anyway, it don't even matter about the hair. It's about this, people can't afford this rent. So on this channel, I talk about I live an alternative lifestyle, and I hear from a lot of people who are considering an alternative lifestyle. Now, they might not be considering living in an RV or a van. I live full time in my mini camper van, and that may not be something they're interested in doing, but they have different ways that they're going to retire or that they're going to make this thing called living work, right? I have some friends, I've shared that before, who are like just getting up and moving out of the country. But I think it's a darn shame. I think it is a darn shame that in America, rents are skyrocketing while income and wages are not. I'm going to read y'all some of the comments from the people in her comments, y'all. And y'all let me know what y'all think. This is so deep. I just think this is like, wow. Let me just keep going. So I started doing some more digging before I get to her comments. And what I read is JP Morgan Chase, according to Bloomberg, have formed a joint venture for $1 billion to buy entire communities of homes, turning them into rental properties. Rents have outpaced wage growth. 18 million Americans, and this is what she said, between the ages of 26 to 40 have to move back home because they can't afford rent. People are turning to, this is what I'm saying, people are turning to alternative living lifestyles, and they're moving out of the country. So JP, okay, they're buying $1 billion in rental property, and they formed with this realty company called Haven Realty Capital. And guess where they starting, y'all? Starting with 2,500 homes in 3 neighborhoods in Atlanta. Okay, so I'm gonna read y'all some of the comments because I'm gonna give my own commentary, but I think these comments speak to what I'm thinking and what a lot of y'all might be thinking. But be sure to leave y'all comments below. As a van dweller, this is the reason why 3 years ago I packed up and I was like, I'm not paying rent. At the time I was in a roommate situation, but I was like, when the roommate situation ended, I was going to pay, and this is Ohio rent, and it was $1,000. I was like, I'm not going to pay $1,000. Pull up my laptop to read some of these comments. This is what one person said. Also, has anyone noticed the increase in storage facilities being built everywhere? Well, y'all know I have my own storage, and I used to have a 2-room storage, and they're turning old office buildings into storage units. Here's what somebody else said. The American dream has turned into the American nightmare. There are so many homeless people in my city. And here's what somebody quoted, and I've heard this quote from the comedian George Carlin before. It's called the American dream because you got to be asleep to believe it. Let me roll down. Then somebody else said they are making it harder for people to obtain the American dream of home ownership. And here's another important point, because I just read another article like this. Things like this and those Airbnb are the reason I'm having a hard time just finding a house to buy. Somebody else said, it's disgusting what these corporations are doing. America acts like they want people to be homeless. It's shameful. Yeah, excuse me. Somebody else said they want two classes, the rich and the rest of us. Somebody else commented on her being beautiful. A couple people commented on that. Somebody said, it's crazy. I was born in the 80s, and I remember apartment would say, first month rent will get you in and also free cable. Nowadays, places in, and I don't use that word, the term they used, cost $1,200 to $1,400. They said in poor neighborhoods, but they use a different word. The renter class or work, I don't understand this, the rentier class or work to establish a kind of financial feudalism. An equity firm called BlackRock, I don't know what they talking about. They want the land. Here in Atlanta, where I live, in the apartment complex where I stay, the rent went up a full $200 from 1 month. It's taking money away from other expenses such as food and gas. They know what's coming. One thing I learned in this life, nothing is a coincidence. The value of a college education is not the learning of many facts, but the training of the mind to think. I don't get that one quite. I got to read it again. Okay, let me get some. There's somebody else saying she's so beautiful. You will own nothing and be happy. They're working on the Great Reset. This is a thing I love. Now I love this one because this is me, and I'm gonna end reading the comments after this one, y'all. This person, I can't even pronounce her name. I am currently a nomad, and I'm happier and freer than I've ever been in my life. I don't feel bound or tied down. I just go wherever I want and explore the creation of the Most High. I don't think I'll ever, this is me, pay rent again after tasting this freedom. So they spent that money just to lose it after people start enjoying freedom and everything turns around on them. They created this entire system to come after the Most High's children. I don't know. They're giving spawns of, okay, no soul vibes, energy vampire vibes. I'm going, okay, it's a little bit. But let me start out really, really good. Somebody else commented on her looks. You will own nothing and be happy. Yep, I have 2 grown. Okay, it got cut off, but this person, the last comment was saying that this person was saying they have 2 grown grandsons who live with them. And they said, thankfully, their house is paid off or they couldn't even afford to live in their house. But anyway, give me y'all thoughts on this. Nobody can afford rent anymore. You got to leave the country just to have a quality of life, some people. But give me y'all thoughts. But most importantly, whatever you do and however you do it, always, always, always take the joy route and Happy New Year. Happy Kwanzaa.